Hola! Hello, I'm back in my hammock and it's so nice right now in the shade. So much has been happening. I feel like every single moment is a new experience, a new lesson learned, and it's been really fun to just kind of navigate life here and learn Spanish and kind of problem solve when I don't know how to say something. So I got to visit my friend Taylor in Venice. I haven't seen her since the end of freshman year, which is crazy. And my flight, of course, is delayed. I have the worst luck with flights. I feel like they're always delayed, but at least I made my connecting flight. I met with Taylor and she showed me around Venice, and I had pizza and a cappuccino, and it was so good. All the food, the conversations with her, I'm so thankful for her. First full day I got there, I spent most of the day just kind of wandering around. I played a game called How Lost Can I Get in an hour. Very lost, very lost. I then used my phone to kind of find a place to sit down and eat some caprese. Then we met up, and then the next day we were able to hang out more, and we got to go on a tour by one of our friends, and the tour was in Spanish. So we both were kind of like, this is really fast, and there's a lot of words that we don't know, but it's all good. It's a really good time to kind of have a slight break from Sevilla, but at the same time, just really appreciate it when I got back. As soon as I got back from Sevilla, literally right after the bus stop, I walked into a coffee shop called Torch. It was so good. I had a tartlet there, and delicious. I asked advice from the owner for a church, and she gave me one. So thankful, it seems perfect. And I'll get to that later. I continue to have my classes, and I've been using the metro every single Tuesday and Thursday, which is very long. My class is like on the other side of campus in the library, which is interesting. They have all the international classes in the library on this one floor. That's literally on the other side of campus where the metro stop is, but it's all good. I had my one class for culture, food, and wine, and we had a taste test class for different ham meats, kind of like cold cuts. I'm not a big fan of ham in general, and my family knows this. I'm not a big fan, so I forced myself to taste it because I knew it was really good quality, and I didn't want to be called a Tinkies Minkies, which is picky eater. My professor talks a lot about picky eaters. There was the last one that we had. He did not tell us the name before we ate it, and he was like, "Oh, do you all like it? It's kind of soft, right?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's okay." And he's like, "Cool, because you just had blood sausage." And we're like, I feel betrayed. Like, I literally feel betrayed right now. But that's all good. I can say that I had it. My architecture class, we started going through different types of arches, the parts of a Roman temple. So now every time I see like a specific arch, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a polylobulated pointed arch. Like, very pretentious about it, but hey, I'm learning, and I'm like applying class knowledge to real life knowledge. It's all good. I can just sound really smart while I do that. I also had my first day at my internship at the clinic, and it was really interesting. I was exhausted because it's all in Spanish, and there are a lot of vocab words that I don't know. I was just thinking, I know this in English. Like, I know what blood pressure cuff is. I know what it does. I know how to use it. I don't know how to say it in Spanish. I feel like a 5-year-old. Like, ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice? This bug just came right up to me. Oh well. Anyways, I made a couple patients laugh by me trying to talk to them and, hear more about their life. And they, like, literally flat out started laughing at me. And, I would say, oh, I know, my Spanish is really funny. Yep, fun times. But hey, I got to make someone laugh while they were in the hospital. So I got to be with the nurses, and I just kind of watched them do their nursing stuff, which I was a little annoyed at first because, I'm a nurse assistant back home. So at first I was just kind of watching them do the things that I get paid for at home. So I was like, ooh, am I going to get a lot out of this internship? But, keeping an open mind was really important for me. It's really hard to do, but keeping an open mind about the experience and being able to learn the differences between the U.S. and Spain and their healthcare system, and being able to talk to patients, and it was a good day. I was hanging out in the back, not really sure what I should be doing because they didn't really tell me. I was just kind of chilling in the corner because I wasn't sure. They didn't really tell me my role yet. They just kind of were like, here you go, bye. And then a nurse came up to me and said, oh, you can, watch and follow me. And she also had an actual nursing student from Spain with her at all times and showing him how to do everything. So I followed the nursing student, and the nursing student followed the nurse. So basically it was this little ducklings following the mom. What are we doing? Where are we going? Of course, I didn't really understand what was happening most of the time. I was getting context clues from, stuff that I know from back home and just kind of watching, but I had no idea what they were saying for most of the time. So very, very fast in Sevilla. I was just kind of following them, and there's a kind of a quieter moment where we're just kind of standing, watching, making sure everything was okay, and a patient's daughter came up to me. She was upper 20s, and she was asking me all these questions in Spanish, and I don't know what she's saying. I don't know if it's important, so I just tell her in Spanish, hey, you should talk to the nurse that's right next to me, not me. So I led her to an actual nurse, and that happened maybe 2 more times until I finally said in Spanish, hey, I'm a student, and I'm actually from the U.S., so I'm not really sure how to help you. And all of a sudden in English, she goes, oh, you're Americana! Where are you from? And she told her family and her mom, who's the patient, and literally all of them just started laughing and pointing, and yep. I decided to purchase a little notebook that I'll keep in my scrubs with me, so whenever I don't know a vocab word or someone, mentions a vocab word, then I can write it down and either look it up or ask in the moment, what does this mean, so I can then remember and not just constantly ask the same questions over and over again and be really clueless. So hopefully that works out. But it was really cool to have that experience, and I'm excited for the rest of the semester. So I mentioned earlier about the church that I found that the owner of the coffee shop told me about. Well, it's very sunny right now. So I asked recommendation for this church, and this church has English Bible study and English group every week. So on Thursdays they had the English group, community group, which is mostly American study abroad students, come and we hang out, and then we have a little message and answer some questions. There's some small group prayer time, very chill, and I went to that, and it was so great. I actually saw a friend, my friend Lily, there. I didn't know she was Christian, and it was so cool to see her, and it was a surprise for both of us. And I met some really cool people there, and I'm really excited for Sunday when I go to the Bible study and then the service. I think that'll be a really good fit. The sun's in a really weird place right now, right above. Oh well. This community group started at 8 o'clock p.m., right? It ended at about 10:30, and my friends and I stayed and talked until 11. We have to take the metro to get to the church, and we were walking back. We got to the station, and the station was closed at 11:30. So we were like, oh, we'll just find some bikes, because they have a lot of public transportation, including bikes. We went 1 block over, couldn't find the station, went another block over to a different station. There weren't any bikes. Went another station over, no bikes. So everyone's using the bikes because the metro's closed. It's 11:30, Thursday night. People are out. everyone is out. They all use their bikes and they biked to the center of the city. We're just trying to get back home. So we ended up just calling a taxi and we ended up getting home past midnight. It was past midnight. I overheard someone who bought Harry Potter in Spanish. I was like, that's a great idea. I want to do that because I read Sorcerer's Stone like probably 10 times, not gonna lie. And I was like, this is perfect because I'm familiar with the story. Very, very familiar with it. So I got it in Spanish. And my friend and roommate, Kazuki, she came with me to buy it. And I also got a little cactus. We also got some frozen yogurt, which Kazuki really wanted to go to this place. And I was like, sure, you know. I'm always up for ice cream. It is not ice cream. Frozen yogurt in the US is ice cream. Okay? We're gonna stop lying to ourselves. Frozen yogurt here is literally like yogurt. Okay? I was not ready for that. It was still good, but I was not ready. I hope you're all doing well, and you'll see me soon. Guys, I just got owned. I'm just chilling here editing the video I just made, and this guy came up to me and was like, and this is on Spanish, hey, I'm security, like, or security's gonna come, like, you can't do this, you can't be in your hammock, and I'm like, oh, lo siento, you know, I didn't know, and he's like, yeah, well, you know, security's gonna come, and I'm like, I can, you know, leave. And he's like, oh, I'm just joking, I'm just jealous. I'm like, what? Okay. Well, another adventure in Spain.